Hey YouTubers, Raffler King back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing my first ever all Blu-ray update. I've done DVD updates forever. I've only done one Blu-ray DVD update, I believe, but I've never done a full Blu-ray update. So I'm going to show, basically, it's going to be like 2 or 3 parts, and I'll upload them like over the next couple weeks or whatever, because I've been buying a lot of Blu-rays. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that it took me a long time to get into the Blu-ray movement, but I did buy a Blu-ray player about a year ago, and I've been buying mostly Blu-rays ever since. Because every time you go to the store, it's like, you see the DVD and the Blu-ray when the movie comes out, and the Blu-ray is usually only about $5 more, and sometimes it even brings the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. So for $5 more, you get the Blu-ray and the DVD, and most of the time they include slipcases. And us collectors, we love like little things like that. So I've been buying a good amount of Blu-rays. This is actually going to be also a all non-horror update. So if you're looking for horror movies, you could, I guess, go ahead and watch something else. But before you do, thumb the video up, please. Hope so. And anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to get right into this because I actually did this video right before just now, and it ran too long and ended up dying. It's because I was talking a little too much. Because there's a lot of great films that I want to show. I'm talking too much right now. I'm just going to get into it. Okay, so yeah, all Blu-rays, no horror. First one that I got here is American Hustle. Great movie. I thought there could have been a little bit more as far as like, maybe like a little extra oomph, a little bit of a twist. There was a little bit of a twist, but just great actors, great cast, great characters, great dialogue. Great wardrobe, great music, just a lot of great things. Of course, Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, and this guy's Jeremy Renner. I haven't seen too much of him, but the rest of the cast, of course, is really known, especially Bale and Cooper. And I love both of them. And I feel like, of course, they just give phenomenal performances again. And it's just a really funny drama. And like I said, I love 70s and 80s stuff. And this is the 70s, so the wardrobe and the music is just phenomenal. I loved it. I saw it in theaters. I thought it was great. I don't know if it won anything, but it does say 10 Best Picture nominations. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it if it won anything. But Christian Bale's hilarious with the gut and the comb over, and Bradley Cooper's hilarious with his rollers in his hair with his Jufro and all that. It's just great. And if you haven't seen this, it's just basically about Christian Bale. He's a small-time hustler, and he's like a scam artist, and he ends up meeting Amy Adams' character, and they fall in love, and he brings her into the game, and then they end up getting busted by FBI agent Bradley Cooper, and he wants to move up in the bureau, so he decides that he could use them as pawns in his little scheme to entrap, through bribery, entrapping a couple politicians. And but then of course it gets kind of like Ocean's 11-y with little twists and turns and like that, but it was really good. I love the film, and I love the embossed slipcover. Next one I got, I don't have to talk about too much, and that's Johnny Depp and Blow. Great film, of course. Johnny Depp portraying Boston George, who is in the beginning a small-time marijuana dealer, and ends up blowing up into being one of the biggest cocaine dealers I guess the world has ever seen, even dealing with Pablo Escobar himself. Of course, Johnny Depp does a great performance in this, as he usually does. Next one I got is one of my favorite 90s action films. 90s had a lot of good action films, because also that was right before the age of good CG, so that a lot of things were practical. And there is CG in this, of course, and there was CG in in the 90s. But this is when it was most of the stuff was still done practical. And it's Con Air. Not a big Nicolas Cage fan either. What the fuck did I just say? I gotta watch that later. That was a big tongue twister. Okay, not a big Nicolas Cage fan either. Got it. I feel like he's a little bit flat and robotronic, and his face is like he looks like a little bit Down syndrome-y. But it was really good. John Malkovich is in it, and John Cusack, and it's just basically about Nicolas Cage's character come back from the Marine Corps, ends up getting in a bar fight over with his girlfriend with a bunch of dudes, ends up killing one of them, and gets into prison for 7 years for the charge of manslaughter. At the end of his term, he's trying to catch a flight home, and he ends up getting on this plane full of a bunch of prisoners. Most of them are being transported to other prisons in other states, and it just so happens on the plane there's a bunch of high-profile inmates, a lot of dangerous men. This movie also has Ving Rhames and Steve Buscemi, and they're on the plane. Dave Chappelle's even in it, and Danny Trejo, love Danny Trejo, and Johnny 23. And so yeah, and then they end up. He finds out that the high-profile inmates all organized this plan to hijack the plane and fly it somewhere to meet with some people or whatever. And he just wants to get home, but in the end he ends up trying to do the right thing and tries to fight back. Next one I got is another one that I really like with a great actor in it, and that's Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey, Jared Leto, and what is her name again? I can't forget. Can't remember. Jennifer Garner. I'm sorry. I always mix her up with the other one. I don't remember who the other one is either. But anyway, so yeah, really good movie. This one actually, I think, did win awards. I don't remember. There was a bunch of stickers on this too. I hate when Best Buy or the companies that manufacture these Blu-rays do that. A bunch of stickers. I don't want stickers on the slipcase. You know, it's annoying. Don't mess with my slipcase, especially when it's nice and beautiful and embossed like that. But yeah, really good movie. This is a movie about a guy in the in the 90s. I'm sorry. He's a really straight, heterosexual American guy, bull rider and electrician and all that. And he ends up getting an injury on the job as an electrician, and at the hospital after they do blood work, he finds out that he's HIV positive. And at first he denies it because, of course, at least in the 90s, everybody was closed-minded, and most people thought that AIDS was only an issue with the homosexual community, and him not being gay, he didn't want to believe it. But after coming to terms with it, he decides that he wants to go ahead and try to get medicine so he can cure it. Finds out that there's not much developments as far as medicine, at least for the drug in America. So he ends up going to Mexico and finding experimental drugs, and he smuggles them back over the border and ends up selling them to people because he opens up a club. So he doesn't sell the drugs, he sells memberships. But pretty good cast, small cast but really strong cast. Amazing performances by Jared Leto as well as Matthew McConaughey, and definitely the body transfers in this are just insane. Some of these actors, man, the stuff they do for these roles is just, you got to respect it. The next one I got here is another one that I saw in theaters, and it was okay. It's an alright first film. This is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's directorial debut, and Don John. I'm trying to talk way too fast because, like I said, the last video was too long. I hope you guys can even understand me. But I talk about this with my friends sometimes, and I feel like the only reason he probably wrote and directed this movie was because he wanted to write Scarlett Johansson in here so he could have sex scenes and make out with her and all that. It's got to be, who wouldn't want to? But I just get that feeling that that's the only reason he made this film was so he could, have sex scenes with Scarlett Johansson. But this movie's pretty funny. It's about a guy who's, he's a real big player type, and all his friends call him the Don. And he ends up always hooking up with these really, good-looking girls. And he ends up seeing Scarlett Johansson's character at a club one night, and finds out that she's not one of those type of girls that just let him hook up on the first night. So he puts the work in, and through doing that, he ends up falling in love with her. And but he's got this problem where he says that no sex in real life is as good as porn. So even after having sex with her, he ends up masturbating to porn shortly after, or he peeks at porn and his girl catches him. But the trailer doesn't really sell it the same way, because as a matter of fact, this is a small spoiler, but she's only in half the film. The second half of the film is mainly about him and Julianne Moore's character, and they meet at school, and basically the second half of the movie is just he kind of thinks he has it figured out. He kind of thinks he has women figured out in relationships and sex and all that, and she makes him see that he really doesn't. And so it's like the first half is really fun and cool, and then the second half, it's not that it's bad, but it's just more drama. And I didn't see that coming from the trailer. The next one I got is another one that I saw in theaters that I really loved. Just an amazing film by Spike Jonze, starring Joaquin Phoenix, called Her. And this is, of course, about a Joaquin Phoenix he's like a note or letter writer in the not so distant future. I'd say maybe in between 15 and 25 years. He ends up buying a software that is basically like a virtual or digital, like a virtual buddy, and it's like a ends up being I think you can make it a man or woman. He makes it a woman, and ends up being Scarlett Johansson doing the voice, which was a great choice. Her voice is so sexy and cute at the same time. It really makes the movie, really helps the movie, and so he ends up falling in love with this automated system, and it's really good. It's sometimes I tell people about that they have to see this, and they really think it doesn't sound good, but to me it's not much difference between any other romance movie. It's really believable. He did a really tremendous job. I'd love to do a review about that because there's so much more I want to talk about, but I'm just trying to go so fast. The next one I got here is another one I saw in theaters. It was okay, and then I saw the Blu-ray for really cheap, and I did really like the slip cover. It is embossed. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's one of the rare times that it has the alternate art on the slipcover than is on the Blu-ray case itself, and it is all embossed. It's really, really nice. It really popped. It got me. I don't know. Like I said, I saw it in theaters. I don't really know who wrote or directed this, and I can't see through these shades right now. But you know, Adam Sandler does do the voice of the Dracula character. Kevin Smith is the Mummy. I don't know, the Frankenstein. CeeLo Green is the Mummy. Steve Buscemi is, I think, the Wolfman. So it's like him and all his buddies. David Spade is the Invisible Man. So it's got to be, it has to do something with his Happy Madison production company or whatever. Maybe he even, you know, produced it or whatever. I don't know. But it, you know, it's a cute little film, and it's basically just about this young boy that's backpacking through Europe, and he ends up stumbling upon a hotel that's just for monsters. But they're holding their like annual event, and Dracula doesn't want anything to go wrong, so he kind of tries to keep the kid under wraps. But he ends up falling in love with his daughter, another vampire chick. It's cute. The next one I got is the best, well, one of the best independent films that I've seen in a while, and just a really great coming of age tale. It's called The Kings of Summer. I don't really know much of the cast except this guy, but I just really cannot remember his name right now. This little character is hilarious, Biagio. It's really reminiscent of McLovin. You know, when McLovin bursts onto the scene. I really do enjoy movies where I don't really know the cast, because I feel myself focusing more and not really thinking about what else they've done or prejudging them. I just kind of give them, it's like a blank slate. And most of this cast in this film I've never really seen before, and haven't really seen since, barely, with the exception of this guy. You know, he's in Parks and Rec. But it was really, really good, and it's just, you know, real quick, it's just about these two young boys that come up with this idea. Well, mainly this kid comes up with the idea to build a house, little shitty shack in the woods and run away from home for the summer and just kind of be a man. It's all about being a man. And then he drags his friend, and then this guy Biagio kind of tags along, and you know, their families are looking for them. It's really, really funny, really touching story, and just, yeah, great independent film. The next one I got I was pretty disappointed with. This is RZA, his directorial debut. And Eli Roth helped him out in this, and Quentin Tarantino helped him out with producing, I believe. So RZA, of course, is from the rap group Wu-Tang from the 90s. They're still making music, but you know, they were mostly relevant in the 90s. Another good, really good, you know, same artwork, but the cases and balls on the knives and all. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I wasn't too pleased with this. I felt like some of the stuff was too simple. The clan names were too simple. The outfits were kind of just like obvious, like this guy's hippo, this guy's fox. Oh, you're hippo because you're big. You're fox because you're like slender, and you know, like. But I guess in Japanese it would sound a lot cooler. You know, sometimes it just sounds cooler in other languages. So he was just basically like his homage. He's a huge kung fu movie fan, so of course, you know, he's gonna do this, and it was fun. The cast was okay. I felt like it was a tad miscasted. I really didn't like what's his name? Oh my God, I can't remember anybody's name right now. I really gotta look at this guy's name though. Russell Crowe. Oh my God, how can I not know Russell Crowe's name? I thought he was miscasted. I didn't like his character very much. I didn't care for him. And Batista's character was pretty cool. He looked like a yellow bastard from Sin City on freaking steroids. But it was okay. Another one I got here. Oh, I love this film. I saw this in theaters, and I was absolutely blown away, although I felt like the ending was a little iffy, and I felt like there wasn't much going on. It was more of a character-based film. And this is Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale. It also has Woody Harrelson and Casey Affleck. And she's a really, really good tale about two brothers. And they go through some hard times. First, their father passes away. And this guy is dating Zoe Saldana. And she does really good performance in there as well. And also Forrest Whitaker's in it, you know, here and there. And it's just all about him. And he ends up drinking and driving one night and hitting a car with a wife, with a woman and her baby. Ends up going to jail. And when he comes out, his little brother is Casey Affleck, and it's like a really good American gritty feel to it. It's just like steel and iron and fog and grayness, and you know, where they live, like they live in like the Appalachians, by the Appalachians. And yeah, so his brother Casey Affleck is just come back from like his third or fourth tour in Iraq and can't find a job, so he kind of starts betting on horses, and then he ends up getting into the seedy underground world of bare knuckle boxing, I guess you would call it, and ends up going missing, and Christian Bale has to find him. I don't want to say too much, because one of the strengths of that film is the allure of, you know, you don't really know really what it's about. You find out there's not too much going on with it, but it's still really, really good film. And I'm going to try to really hurry up. The last two that I got, I'm just going to show them at the same time. I just picked up Season 1 and 2 combo pack Blu-ray of Workaholics, and Season 4. I also have Season 3, but I do have it on DVD, because that was the one case where it was cheaper. Super hilarious show. I don't find myself laughing out loud too much. It's kind of, I felt like it was kind of a copy of Sunny in Philadelphia, which It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is my all-time favorite drama. Yeah, it shows a drama. My all-time favorite comedy series. and have all the seasons of that. But after giving this a chance and watching it, you know, I think it's funny. Like I said, I don't laugh out loud too much. Sometimes the things are really over the top and exaggerated, but it is funny. And of course, it's got to be a definite hit with all the college kids these days, because you know they're always smoking weed and drinking beer and partying and going balls out. You know, where Sunny Philadelphia is, you know, a little more adult, and because they are older also. And also Sunny Philadelphia, I feel like tackles, you know, current events, and that's something that Workaholics doesn't do. But it's good for what it is. It's really good. So anyway, guys, that is my first official all Blu-ray and non-horror update that I believe I've ever done. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and drop me comments and thumbs up the video, please, if you can. And I'm definitely going to try to do another video right now because my phone is uploading stuff a lot quicker these days. So thank God. Let's see what else I can do.